How's it gaming? I'm Fill in the Blanks, and welcome to Castlevania The Adventure for Game Boy. This was the first of 3 Game Boy Castlevania games. This is actually the Game Boy Color version, which came out with like Konami GB Collection Volume 1, something like that. But yeah, it is the Game Boy one in color. Let's jump in there. It came out, the original version, the colorless version, came out in 1989. It was really close to the launch of the Game Boy. And that is not your computer or the video messing up. This is how this game runs. I have the original for the Game Boy. I don't have the Game Boy Color one. We are emulating this. But I was like, is there something wrong with my cartridge? In the Retron, I was like, is it not working or something? Because it looks all like, it's super, I don't know, jumpy and glitchy a little bit. So I played on the original Game Boy, on my actual Game Boy, and same thing. And then the ROMs did it too. Like, I think this game just is barely functioning on a Game Boy. I feel like my Game Boy would be smoking right now. So whoever ended up making this, like, it's an okay game. It's okay. It's a Game Boy Castlevania game, but it just feels like it's barely running. It's just hard to explain. I mean, I guess you're seeing it, but when you play it too, there's slowdown and a lot of weird time. It's a very, I don't know. It's a game technically. I wouldn't even say it's a bad game because I've played the original before a couple of times. It's fast. It's not very long. It's only got 4 levels. I think it's pretty fun, but I forgot how poorly it ran. But that's okay. We're still gonna have fun with this. This is definitely not as hard as the other Castlevania games that I have played on this channel. It's a fairly easy one. There's some precision to be had in the way you jump, because your jumping is kind of bad, because you're just very slow, so you don't have a lot of width to your jump, if that makes any sense. But overall, the game's okay. I've never really... I played the second one of this a little bit. Belmont's, I was gonna say Simon's Quest, and then I corrected myself mid-sentence. Belmont's Revenge for the Game Boy. I've played it at least once, but that was a long time ago. Now, I've never played Castlevania Legend, which is the other Game Boy game. But after that, once we beat this, and if we beat the second Game Boy Castlevania, that is every 3D or 2D Castlevania, traditional 2D Castlevania game I've ever played. So yeah. Yeah, you get fireballs in this, and the weird thing is, in this game, when you strengthen up your whip, if you get hit, you lose the strength of your whip. So right now I've got long range, which is amazing, but I won't hold on to it for very long, because you get hit a lot in this game. But there are a lot of ways to get your health back in this game. So it's like, it's hard because you still get hit a lot, but it's also easy because they give you back your life a lot. So, but it's an okay game. It takes like no time whatsoever. Which is kind of what you needed from Game Boy games back in the day. You wanted them to be somewhat quick, because like there was no saving on most Game Boy games. There wasn't a put to sleep option. That wouldn't be really a thing until the DS. I think some Game Boy Advance games had that function, but it wasn't really like innate to the console itself. So it wasn't really an option back then. Jump, made it. And we're at the first boss already. And the weird thing is, you gotta get the orb to make the boss appear. So you've got like all the time in the world to get yourself ready. Oh, my fireball will just bounce off him. I guess it makes sense. Oh, that armor. That's okay. He's dead. Bosses can be pretty easy, especially if you have the upgraded whip. Not necessarily the fireball whip, just the regular upgraded whip. You do a lot of damage. It's at least double the strength of your regular leather whip. So, yeah, no, that color looks really good. I've never played the color version before. So I'm surprised it runs as poorly as the original Game Boy one. I thought they would have fixed that, but nope. But yeah, no, the color looks great. I've always enjoyed DX versions of it, and I think it's cool that Konami did it for quite a few of their games. I didn't even realize that, was it Operation C has a colorized version on it? And I wish I'd played that, because we did Operation C last year. And I had no idea there was a colorized version. I said this during, I don't know when I said, I think it was Donkey Kong Land. But I'm going to try to keep my eye out. If there are colorized versions of Game Boy games, I'm going to go ahead and play those versions instead of the regular ones. Unless there's something really big, like a really big difference. Like, it's like Link's Awakening DX. I played that instead of the regular Link's Awakening because there wasn't really a big difference other than the color and the extra dungeon. So, unless it's too big of a difference, I should play the nice, cool, colorized one for you guys. Looks better than just the gray or the pea green or the Super Game Boy kind of Game Boy Color look that I get from the Retron for you guys. So. Yeah, the second level, the dungeons, or whatever you want to call it. The caverns, the catacombs. And down you go. Pretty much what you see is what you get with this game. Individual little screens like this, a couple enemies here and there, but it's fine. Like I said, I've never played Legends. I've only played Belmont's Revenge, like once. And I don't think they get any better than this, like not that much better. I did look at the second one because it has like a Mega Man style stage select, but once the Game Boy Advance would pop up, then you get stuff like Circle the Moon and Aria of Sorrow. And it's crazy the difference in quality between a Game Boy and a Game Boy Advance game at that point. Like, really crazy. Weirdly enough, there wasn't like, I don't think anyways, there wasn't a Game Boy Color specific Castlevania game. Like, some people, myself sort of included, I count the Game Boy Color as a separate generation than the Game Boy. Especially when you get to the Game Boy Color exclusive games that had to be played in a color version, not the regular Game Boy. A lot of games kind of just brought back their old catalog in color, but I liked it when, there was new games. Pokemon Red and Blue to Pokemon Gold and Silver, not just Pokemon Red and Blue again, but with color. But sometimes it's like, you make a little collection like this. This collection has 4 games on it. That's pretty neat. I didn't even check out what the other games were, that's the funny part. I think Nemesis was the other one, which I also played this year, which I wish I had known there was a colorized version. But, there we go. And to be honest, this was like late 90s at this point, and a lot of companies were doing the whole, oh, by the way, this is a maze. Yeah, I should be talking about this. Go to the right, then, if you had gone to the left in that other one, then you kind of repeat. Same with here if you go to the right. So you gotta go right, then left, and then you're kind of on your way. Sorry, I was just rambling. I totally forgot that. Maybe I should explain the game that I'm playing. But yeah, no, by the late 90s, a lot of game companies were doing that, where like they were releasing just collections of their games. I mean, obviously they still do that, but near the end of a life cycle, I think a lot of people expected the Game Boy not to last as long as it did. It really was Pokemon that kept the Game Boy going. So when the Game Boy Color was a big deal and whatnot, they were like, alright, the Game Boy's gotta be out soon, so let's just concentrate our efforts on the PlayStation and the N64, and with this, with this console, the Game Boy Color, we'll just re-release our stuff. Here, go down, do not go up, you'll just repeat this room over and over again. Here's the boss, easiest boss. Just go, like, kind of underneath, and they'll just drop out. 1 hit's all they take. Pretty sure it's 2 hits with your leather whip, but just kind of stay away, and just, they give you enough time to position yourself pretty easily. Like that. I think I just got one up. Nice. Yeah, simple game. But, like I said, fun. Especially because only Castlevania 1 and 2 are available in North America at this point. Castlevania 3, I think, came out in Japan, like, right after this. So it wasn't out in North America yet. Maybe? I think so. I'm not sure. Either or, I mean, like, right, if 3 wasn't out yet, then at the time, Castlevania 1 was the best Castlevania game. So having something like this wasn't that bad. Depends on kind of the viewpoint you're looking at this game from. If you're looking at it from now, it's like, no, this isn't great compared to the other stuff on the Game Boy. But for launch, almost launch title, no other big Castlevania games, oh, this is acceptable, you know what I mean? Yay. I still say Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge for the Game Boy was like Capcom showing all the other companies, like, you can make a good Game Boy game that's just as good as the console one. I'm like, yeah, I love that game. Here we go. This is probably the hardest level because it's very trappy. I guess the last level is too, but this one's all about spikes and moving in a hurry. Do not jump. You will die. There's nothing really worth getting there. Let's blow this up. Smack, 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 and that goes back down. Wouldn't mind getting some fireball, but it doesn't really matter. The boss in this level is really easy. Duke. Yeah, this is the platforming level, easily. You have to platform really quickly, and you have to be really good about it. Thankfully, practice this a couple times. I played this game a few times before. I even began the idea of recording it. Ooh, that's close. Oh, made it. Do not go over those candles. You will die. It's there to trick you. There's nothing even good in them. Ooh, a heart. It's not like those enemies. So, yeah, I'm not making that. I'm glad I had this, not ready, but like, I'm glad I had a game where, okay, good, I have a Halloween game that I can play, because I've played this game before. Because I wasn't sure about Super Castlevania 4, if it was going to be 6 episodes of 5, and I had, like, planned out the calendar. And I was like, okay, well, if it's only 5 episodes, then I'll have this to go back on. And lo and behold, it was only 5 episodes. I was quite surprised. So, I was like, cool, it gives me an excuse to play this Castlevania game. Here we go, so now it's an auto-scroller. Just make your way up. Leaping from rope to rope is really not easy to do. Just kind of get as much height as possible, because you do not have the speed. Your horizontal speed in this game is totally garbage. And you need to make sure you attack that caterpillar thingy and get over here fast, because, like, yeah, this part's brutal if you don't know what you're doing, or you go the wrong way, or something. You really need to know how far Christopher Belmont is. By the way, this is Christopher Belmont. This is not Simon Belmont. It is not Trevor Belmont. This is Christopher Belmont, the weakest Belmont of all. I do like how they give him, like, they give the Belmonts a lot of different people. Like, it's not always just, they easily could have just said, yeah, this is Simon again. But nope, Christopher. I think in the next game it's, the American pronunciation or translation was Soleil, but I think it was supposed to be Soleil, as in sun in French. Because I think that one takes place in France, I'm not sure. Oh, damn. But I like that, like, there's different, Belmonts. Because everyone always remembers Simon, everyone remembers Trevor thanks to the anime, and then there's Richter. And it's like, who's there anymore? It's like, there's lots. There's Leon Belmont, which they actually referenced in the anime, which I thought was really cool. Really cool. He's apparently the first Belmont, I think. He was in, oh geez, was it Curse of Darkness? No, Lament of Innocence? Harmony of Dissonance? I don't know. The one for one of them for the PS2. Which I really liked. And we'll get there one day, guys. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere in the next few years. I think I'll still play these games for you. So sooner or later, we will run out of Nintendo and Super Nintendo games. We'll be on PlayStation and PlayStation 2 for a lot of these franchises. But I mean, that's the point, right? Going through these little histories of the franchises, but at the same time doing like little other games that are just fun to do. So I don't always want to do franchised games either. I like just doing the weird little one-offs that no one's ever heard of. Like, I don't know, like Smart Ball, or like Spanky's Quest that I did like on my first year. That was fun. Okay, so, yep. I should be mentioning again, I'm really ranting today. I don't know why, but I've had too much sugar. But the wall on the right is coming after you. Go to the left, and then drop down, and immediately go to the right. You just gotta be careful. You have to be fairly precise in your movement. I don't even bother with the candles here, because they're not going to give me anything good. There are no sub-weapons in this game. I don't know if you've noticed. There's no crosses, or holy perfume, or that was really close, or axes, or knives, or time-stoppy watches. Nope, just your whip. Just a young man and his whip. Boy and his blob, man and his whip. Just keep going. But these parts here kind of, like, give you some time to get some time away from the wall on the right. Oh, there it is. Because it's the part we have to crisscross a lot. That's where it's really dangerous. Because if you mess up, you're walking right into a spike. So, right here, you just want to make sure you don't spend too much time finagling around, you know what I mean? So this is a good part right here. Easy, easy, easy. Jump, jump, jump. Oh, okay, we're good. There we go. Because this is the long one. If you haven't made enough time at this point, this is where this thing will kill you. And you do start right there, not right here, sorry, at the beginning of the moving wall. Or at the bottom of the chasm, I'm not sure. But this, I've trained myself enough just to keep going. Because once we get past this, we're pretty much done this level. And the boss is fairly easy. Kind of a reward for this level, I guess. There we go, we made it. Oh! That's clearly a secret. Wow, I don't think I ever knew this. Go, the colorized version is giving me secrets. I didn't know about this. Oh, geez, I wonder how many other places I've missed. Secret places. Huh. Well, that's cool. I like that. Here's the boss. Kind of weird avian bird thingy. Pretty easy. Oops. There we go. Come here. Get him. Get him. Ah, nice. Gotcha. Gotcha. Look at, he's almost dead already. Ah, crap. That was dumb of me. Oh, well, he is... Shit. Oh, okay. I got my little crappy whip now. This Still dead. There we go. Yeah, not hard. Not hard at all. You did it, Christopher Belmont. Hooray for you, I guess. Alright, last level. Which I guess is Castlevania. The actual castle. I do like this. It's very Zelda too. Background looks great. Wow, I like the colors they use for this. Colorized versions. It looks really good. God, just... screen tearing's horrible. I need to upgrade my whip, though. Please. There we go. I don't even care if I get the fireball. I just want the stronger whip. Because the stronger whip makes Dracula... Well, actually, the fireball whip makes Dracula hilariously easy. This is probably the easiest version of Dracula in any of the games I've ever played. Oh, no, I take that back. This is Castlevania 2. where all you gotta do is drop the friggin' garlic or whatever it is that you take him out really easily. This is a cool final level. Damn, really, Phil? Come on, man. Ooh, that was close. But another trappy level, which makes sense. You don't get the cool clock... Oh, hello, boss from level 1. You don't get the clock tower, which is kind of a shame, but I mean, the game literally only has 4 levels. That was such a waste of life. Oh my gosh. Probably be more careful than that, please, Phil. Now... Oh, yeah, by the way, I don't think you can get past that without getting hit. I've never done it. I don't think you can go that fast. To keep it going. Oh, that was so dumb of me. Oh, I'm doing bad. Heart? Nope. Nope! Ooh, how'd that not kill me? I'm fine with that, though. There are a lot of hearts in this game, so hopefully I will get one soon. Because I find, like I said, the game is very generous with its health. Because the hearts in this are health instead of, sub-weapon stuff. Come on. Okay, take you out. It's gotta be like a heart up there or something. Crap. Ah, damn. That's okay. Where do I start? Oh, yeah, that's okay with me. I still get hit. Come on, Phil. Oh my gosh, Phil, it was so bad. Look how slow it all is. Ugh. It's brutal. Like I said, I feel like this game is about to fall apart. And that being said, I would have loved this game if I had a Game Boy when I was a kid. And I had this game, I'd play it so much. I was the type of kid, like, I liked... lost my strong whip already. I had lots of games that aren't really good, and if you didn't grow up with them, you wouldn't like them, but man, in the 80s and early 90s, you grew up with these games, and you just loved them, because it was the only thing you had sometimes. So, I don't know. I could see myself really liking this as a kid, basically, is what I'm saying. I think a lot of the old games deserve a chance to, like, view them from back then. I don't know. I think a lot of people, too often, they just like, well, this isn't very good, I don't like it, and then judging it by today's standards. I mean, they might dumb down the standards a bit, because obviously this is not going to be a PS5 game, but, like, I think a lot of people view, like, older games, like, well, this isn't, like, Shovel Knight's way better than this, and Shovel Knight's just like a retro game. It's like, yeah, but Shovel Knight is a retro game with everything smoothed over to not be really retro. The retro games were rough a lot of times. And it doesn't help, too, that a lot of people, when they talk about retro games, it's just like the big titles. Like, oh, this game isn't as good as Mario 3. Well, of course not. 95% of games weren't nearly as good as Mario 3. That's why it was a classic. It's like saying, oh, this movie from, I don't know, the 70s isn't as good as, I don't know, Citizen Kane. It's like, well, Citizen Kane is considered the masterpiece of its, like, technology or medium or whatever. So I don't know, I find that really fair. And a lot of people do that. And I try really hard to judge a game on its circumstances of when it came out. Oh, here, yeah, you have to jump on these spikes. You can kind of see the color on them. A little bit. That's cool for the colorized version. Because in the, if you play this on a Game Boy Color, like the original version of it, like the black and white one, anything that moves is super highlighted red. Because the sprite layer on that... Jeez, I didn't know I was going to make that. The sprite layer on the Game Boy Color, or sorry, when you play Game Boy games on the Game Boy Color, is all red, and the rest of the, like how we played Metroid, how everything was really red. Kind of like that. So, that's kind of cool. The colorized version actually makes this somewhat difficult. Pretty cool. We're almost to Dracula. We're so close to there now. Like 2 more rooms, I think. Just keep going, ignore it. And we are... Oh, no, not there. Not yet. Not yet. Should be able to upgrade my whip one more time. Like I said, if you get Fireball near where Dracula is, and you can get all the way there with Fireball, he is just hilarious. At least his first form is. The second form is easy without it, because I don't think you can hurt him with the Fireball, but... Okay, 4 hits and you're gone. Oh no, do I not have the Fireball? Oh, here we go. And power me up. Power up. Alright, let's do it. Vlad Tepish, you are mine! And like before, get the orb, get to this side, and just wail out, because he can't hit you from here. That's hilarious! And then just cross to the side. Just hit that B button. You can do it. Done. Now here, you kind of want to go back to the side, and you just kind of got to hit him as he's going away. Be very careful, because he has a wider hitbox than you'd think. But basically, switch back and forth every so often so that the bats that he lets go can't really hit you. Stay on the left again, though. Because I think they'll be a little bit far away. There we go. And he's dead. Super easy Dracula. There we go. That was Castlevania The Adventure, or The Castlevania Adventure. The logo is really vague on what it's called. Rumble, rumble, rumble. That goes on for a while. There it goes. Again with the very Ninja Gaiden and Mega Man X looking from a cliff. Down it goes. You look like Conan the Barbarian, Christopher. Mind you, so did Simon Belmont in the original game. Staff. Well, good try, Konami, I guess. But they would definitely do better later on. Definitely, definitely. Heard Legend was okay. It's definitely the rare one. It's very expensive. I don't have it. I do have the other two. Though, like I said, I didn't have the colorized version. I should look into getting the colorized Konami Game Boy collections. It's pretty cool, or archives, or what do you want to call it. But thank you, Kimura Nakazato. No silly ending like in the first Castlevania game where they were like making jokes off of the names. But yeah, no, this is definitely one of those games that like, oh, I have an hour to spare, like a bus ride or something. Play Castlevania. A lot of the things, like a lot of the ways they marketed the Game Boy back in the day was like, get your Game Boy in this little carrying case that you can pack up to 5 Game Boy cartridges or something like that. And that's what you do. It's like, I have a long bus ride. You literally go through your library of games. It was just funny back then. Oh, that was it. Well, thank you so much for joining me, guys. And you know what? Happy Halloween. Because today is Halloween, and that means it's the end of our Halloween games for this year. I'm really glad we could get through 2 Castlevania games. Hello, Big Bat. You are big in relation to how big that castle was. But yeah, starting the next episode, we'll do a couple things, and we're winding down for the year. Because like I always do, I take my December off. So we'll do a little bit in November. And again, I hope you guys had a really great Halloween. But with that, I'm Fill in the Blanks. See you next level. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this episode, click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to know when the next episode is up. If you want to support my channel, share some videos with some friends and consider supporting me on Patreon.